Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Melina Landrio and I want to thank you for sharing space with me today. For those of you returning, thank you so much for coming back. And we're just going to jump into this message today, okay? I've been receiving this channel and God has illuminated for me to deliver this today. And this one guides me into a specific channel that I received over a week ago. And it was quite disturbing and distorted to receive. Some of the information that I'm about to deliver for you guys to understand or comprehend is not for the faint at heart. There's a trigger warning labeled onto this video immediately right now because it's not going to be an easy one to wrap our minds around. I understand, though, that there is awareness that is necessary. So some of you may be witnessing someone in your life experiencing this, or you are someone who is going through this right now. Or you have experienced this when you were younger, or have been experienced this since you were younger and still going through it. And maybe you're on the brink of understanding it. You may not be able to fathom that this exists and completely ignore it. And that's often the case in regards to those that are not supported in life and the ones that are usually targeted for this type of circumstance to occur, because they know that nobody is going to support them to even validate what they might be experiencing as real. So this kind of becomes a big messed up like mind situation. Messing with someone's mind is very significant in regards to what this is that we're going to speak on today. And so if that's you might be going through this and you might just be completely ignoring it, or you just might push it off that it's nothing. And just go on with your day. And in doing so, not quite fully grasping or understanding how this can impact you and lead you into disturbing or distorted understandings in your life, causing conflict in your reality, and it could lead to tremendous suffering and pain. So the expression that came up, pardon me, just 1 second here, I gotta get a drink of water. Sorry, this message again, somebody doesn't want me speaking about this. So the expression that came up in regards to just me deciphering the channel and the information was the term rose-colored glasses. And so if that resonates, I encourage you to take the rose-colored tints off and look around without them, because you might find some harsh truths that you couldn't necessarily seek before because everything was painted for you as prescribed by the glasses maker. And this is metaphorically speaking. This channel is speaking spiritually, is speaking on spiritual tones. So this is just an understanding, just a little bit of food for thought in regards to the rose-colored glasses. It's like toxic positivity in environments that are extremely toxic is not cool. It's not a good thing. And often the survivors in environments like that, those who fall victim in environments like that, tend to wear delusional viewpoints because they were taught not to see anything different. I hope that makes sense. So what's really coming up is an awareness of sex magic. And there's a need to revoke and rebuke in Jesus's name. In the mighty name of Jesus, you need to revoke and rebuke the awareness of sex magic. You need to cast it out of your energy field. And this is really what we're speaking on today, is tones of this. But I mean, I don't want to go into anything further than what I'm being guided to speak on, which is this, but this can leach out into other areas of spiritual warfare as well. So just to be aware, if you're watching this and what I'm about to say, or the notes or the tones or the expressions or whatever it is that I'm saying if any of it resonates with you on a deep level, like you may have experienced it or know someone who's experiencing it, or maybe you have an awareness of something else that's attached to it, I want you just to be open to the intuitive nudge that you're receiving and to explore it deeper with God and understand what's going on for you. Okay? So again, the awareness of being able to revoke and rebuke such instances is extremely crucial. Okay? So what I'm getting is that you could be somebody who's highly connected, able to detect and dismiss these types of experiences. And maybe you're starting to understand things that are occurring to you are not necessarily you, and you're starting to understand how connected you truly are, and you're able to amplify means of being able to remove such instances. Okay, so this could be you. Or you're witnessing this going on. This is you, but you're also witnessing this going on in other people's lives around you. Or you're starting to understand this type of connection. So this could fit in a multitude of ways. In an underlining understanding of the distinct experiences that sex magic is occurring, I'm going to share from my own personal experiences on how to detect it. So please keep this in mind. This could be for you or someone that you know, okay? And as always, use your discernment when taking from my videos. So some examples are, you're not partaking in any type of sexual activity, and you're not even having any interests in sexual activity. There's no intimacy connection occurring at the moment that would lead to some sort of sexual activity. Okay? So you're pretty much just living your daily life. You're doing normal things, and all of a sudden you experience some form of arousal. It could be a physical sensation. It could be provoking thoughts. It could be disturbing visuals. It could be all of the above. Something that is not your normal, and it's really out of place, the way you experience it, as I mentioned above. Now, dependent on how your gifts have evolved. So we're all gifted. We all come to earth with gifts. So some of us are able to see in the spirit. Some of us are able to hear in the spirit. Some of us just know things in the spirit. Some of us speak things out into the spirit. There's many ways that we can share our gifts, okay? And these gifts are given to us and meant to connect us all. So when I utilize my gifts, I connect them through, for example, so an aspect of what I do is these channels, these tarot readings that I do. And I connect my gifts through what it is that I'm channeling, or I utilize my gifts to channel, and I also utilize my gifts to connect to the sources and resources that I have available through my gifts to be able to express these messages to you. And I do so because I understand and know how blessed I am to have these gifts, and I believe that they're meant to be shared. So, depending on how evolved yours are, you could hear spirit, like you could hear cues in the spirit when this is going on. You might have the physical sensations, again, the provoking thought, some sort of visual or something that's weird, that just doesn't relate with you. You may even get cues from spirit, and these are intentionally delivered by those causing this disservice to you. And upon this cue, like you hearing this cue, maybe your attention briefly entertains it, and then you stop in the realization, what am I doing? What the heck is this? And you understand that this is not yours. So depending on whether you understand your gifts, and again, by gifts, I'm speaking about in the spirit, you're able to see, you're able to hear, you're able to know, you use your intuition, you've used the muscle that we all have. We're all born with this intuitive muscle, and it's up to you to utilize it and strengthen it, okay? It doesn't just come like that. This is a whole lifetime you're here for learning to develop it. And so depending on whether you understand your gifts, when this occurs, this can lead to a depth of your ability strengthening, because you catch it, you say, this is not me. Hey, wait a minute. Why am I thinking of this weird experience that I'm not even interested in? Like, what is this, right? And so because of that, you're able to connect that you have a gift there. You connected something, right? You felt something also with that connection, or you thought something also with that connection, or you saw something also with that connection, or you heard something, or again, a multitude of all of the above. And so that was able to lead you into the depth of an ability for yourself. So this is for somebody here who is gaining these insights, but maybe not quite. This probably just solidified what you're going through, or this maybe confirmed it for you. And if you don't understand your gifts, it could easily stagnate you further. And this is again touching on those that are not supported in this life. And they're usually the vulnerable ones that get attacked by this type of disservicing spiritual warfare. And because they feel, I guess, to the people that do this, they feel like, and as somebody who's been through this, as a child, as somebody who's been through this, I guess it's just an easy target for those who decide to attempt whatever it is that they're trying to gain out of it. Anyways, regardless of how it occurs, there is some sort of awareness that is an attachment of energy coming to you, to attach, to pull from you something valuable, something that's valuable within you. And this energy could also very likely be attached with some form of transference energy to aid in diluting your spirit further. So this could be spells, this could be hexes, or something additional to it to just help whoever's doing this to you to maybe possess it with more success. So that's just also another awareness. Again, I think I touched on that above, where you might be going through something and then you also have this knowing or this understanding of something like what I just said. Maybe you have a visual of someone casting a spell. Then you revoke and rebuke that as well. You see how this works? You need to learn to be connected to God, and you need to learn to have this faith and to be able to release yourself of these disturbing occurrences that could happen. They do happen. So please know and understand that those that do this to you, the ones causing disservice, are on a mission for something that likely you don't even recognize as valuable. I'm saying this from personal experience. I've been through this. And this is why I speak of reflection, because it's important. And it's important that I speak of in my videos. Pardon me. I found so much power within myself the moment that I chose to work on loving myself and acknowledging my perceived flaws, and like really truly stepping into them, into the reality of what they were, to come to the understanding, the shocking understanding of what I learned from them. Like, I devote much of my time helping others to recognize these situations, because I know the power of what you can learn from deciphering or taking that moment to do the opposite of what you were taught to do. In these circumstances, usually the victims are not taught to look into themselves at all. They're completely ignored, they're abandoned, they're betrayed, they're neglected. Neglected is a really good word. Or they're abandoned by certain circumstances created in their lives that make this type of stagnation for them, which make them that type of target. So it's important for me to help you guys recognize these situations that could be causing you or someone that you love a great deal of disservice, okay? So these situations that I speak of, they are not ours in the first place, okay? So these are projections and these are casted illusions. And without reflection, you may believe that this sex magic is the way that you are. Like, especially if you're a young innocent, vulnerable person who is being attacked, and you don't even understand what this is. Like, you just all of a sudden have this weird experience and you're like, what is this? And nobody is around to question or catch that there's some sort of weird thing that just occurred to you. This is what I'm speaking on today. Because when you're that young and it's happening to you, you don't question it. And you have to learn by going through it what it is until you eventually get to where I'm at sharing this with you today, so you can understand it. And I could tell you there's a lot of shitty experiences that happen on the way of the journey because of it. But yeah. So if you can't reflect and you believe that this is you, this belief is what the predators want. They want you to believe because they want to cause the disturbance in your life anyways. And by you believing in this disturbance, connects them to you. Picture it like they're fishing and they're luring you in, and now they've connected you, and there's some sort of, you're not questioning it, you're not reflecting on it, and now all of a sudden they're like in. I think that's how their mentality might be when they come into this type of experience or go in trying to do this type of experience to somebody. In this case, if this is the case, right, that you're hooked now, or that you're hooked in, energetically speaking, without realizing that you're hooked into anybody, because you don't think people are that nosy or interfering in energies. But let me tell you, they are. And you're hooked in because you're not understanding what's going on around you, and you don't even question it for whatever reason applies. So reflection is key here. I can't tell you what that is for you. I know what it is for me, and I'm glad that I was able to decipher it and figure it out through years of hard work, of reflecting. But if you don't start to reflect, if you're experiencing this and you don't start to reflect on these experiences that I'm sharing with you today, if some of these experiences, what I'm sharing with you, are hitting you in a way, like triggering you, and in a way that you're like, oh, I think that's happening to me, or oh, that sounds familiar, and you're not pulling it into your energy, like you really genuinely have an experience that you can relate to what I've just said, this is the key here. It's reflection. You really need to reflect on what you're experiencing, and pray to God. You really do. Pray for the answers. Pray for God to reveal to you what it is that you need to understand about this circumstance. Because if you don't, this circumstance is going to lead you into discord. And this is what they want. The people who are doing this to you, this is what they want. They are attempting to pull your energy, and the reason why they hook onto you is because they want to exchange theirs for yours. Which is, I think, maybe why, like, as a kid, going after an innocent kid like myself when this happened to me. Because when you're a child, you're innocent, right? And I think it's the innocence, it's that energy that they're trying to go for. They're trying to pull on this innocent energy. And you could be an innocent adult, too. You could be a very vulnerable adult, too. So don't just think that that's, it's only vulnerable people that are children. Yes, absolutely, they are, but there could also be vulnerable people who are adults as well. So in attempting to exchange their energy for yours, they want you to feel their discord. They want you to feel their shame. They want you to feel their disgusting behaviors as though it is yours. And in the unconscious reality of acceptance of this, when you're unconsciously not aware this is happening to you, and you don't question it, that's accepting it. Okay? And you will place this shame on yourself, this shame that is not yours. You will have this experience of somebody else's shame in this weird experience that you just had that you may not be able to question because you're too young, or nobody has supported you in understanding it, or you've just ignored it because you were taught to ignore yourself your whole life. Whatever the case may be, you will believe that this is you, or their disgusting behaviors are yours. And in the unconscious reality of that acceptance, of taking on such thoughts and such disturbances, this can lead you to have extremely deep-rooted distraught as you age, as you grow. And it could lead to discord in your relationships. It can lead to discord in going out and doing normal things with people if somebody is attacking you while you're trying to do that, or creating or they have this disturbance in them and they're trying to exchange it with yours. I mean, there's a lot of really messed up people there. I can't really tell you what it is that they're doing because I'm not that person who, I'm not in that mind frame, but I just know from my own personal experience and from navigating it, this is what I feel is coming up as regards to what they are hoping. And in regards to this particular channel, because I'm speaking to somebody here today. So when this is happening prior to this activity, you may experience the nature of people who are working or ultimately doing this type of spiritual warfare towards you, okay? And what you may be experiencing, so this is what's happened to me. These are some examples that I'm giving you, are things that have happened to me, so I'm going to give you those. You may feel inebriated or like you're on drugs or you're drunk, but you're sober. You don't do drugs or you don't drink, or you're now sober. You once used to do it, but now you don't. When that happens though, you're sober. So it doesn't correlate, it doesn't make sense why you're feeling this way. So that could be one example. The nature of their being, their thoughts, intentions towards you. So if they're violent or hateful, you may experience a rush of energy that encompasses you, where you feel this violent, hateful energy towards you. That could be also what you experience. So you may feel also that brief, like a brief experience of like anger or violation and then upon contemplation and like the truth of like your environment, it all opposes your experience. Like you're with friends that are all laughing and everything looks great, but then all of a sudden you feel violated and like angry, but nobody around you is like that. You're in a really happy, fun, normalized place. So that could be an example. Also, you might feel intense anxiety in your nervous system. This is an alarm. Your body is very intelligent, and it will alarm you if there's an intruder in your energy. So you could be somebody who feels deeply, you could be empathic, and all of a sudden you feel someone's nervous energy like rushing in on you, and you find out there's this like nervous energy, or you feel terribly nervous, some sort of insecurity, something that comes up that's just really out of the blue. You weren't like that before, all of a sudden you're like that, but you aren't doing anything alarming or deceitful. Like you're not doing anything that would cause this type of reaction, like this nervous energy, like maybe you're doing something wrong. Like the person coming in could be like worried about you finding them out. They're trying to hide themselves. And like there could be a fear that they're having that you're going to catch them. And so that sudden nervous exchange that you feel, like you're looking around, but you're like, but I'm just eating my lunch. Like, why am I feeling this alarming, deceitful, weird energy while I'm trying to eat my lunch? Or an anxiety, understanding this can go terribly wrong in the energy. That could also happen. But like you're not driving a car or anything. You're not like walking a tightrope. You're literally just watching a funny movie or taking a nap, or again having lunch with your family or something. It's ways always distortive. It doesn't fit with your actual circumstances when these types of things are occurring. And these things are what I'm trying to encourage and implore you guys, if this is resonating with you, to reflect, to really go into, and to just stop it immediately. Just immediately pray against it, and then reflect into it. See the change. You'll notice it. There'll be a change, an instant change, and you'll know it's not yours, and you'll know someone's in your energy. And then reflect with God about that further, if that's you. Like, this is a specific channel, guys, that's coming up. It's not for everyone. So, and some may be relevant and some might not, but please don't make this fit if it's not for you, okay? So I'm specifically talking, I am talking specifically to the understanding that there are people walking this earth who are willingly, openly deciding to make choices to spiritually come against the vulnerable. And this could pertain to young children in environments where they are perceived as overlooked, and they are preyed upon. These are predators. These people are predators, and that I'm speaking about today. And these predators watch their neighborhoods. They watch their surroundings. They look for these vulnerable people, these children that are inconvenienced in some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to give you examples from my own personal situation to help, because I'm being guided. This will help somebody here. So growing up, some of you may not know me if you're new to my channel. I grew up, my father suffered with mental illness. He couldn't work, and he was also an alcoholic and heavy smoker much of my life. So usually heavily medicated or hospitalized to adjust. So you can get a picture of what that might have been like for a child to experience. So my entire life, I witnessed layers and levels of his suffering and the habitual characteristics of one with an experience in absorption within this mental health construct, the stigmas that attach to it, etc. So it's not easy for an entire family to go through this, but especially for young kids or teenagers. And in this type of dynamic, a detach of the other parent, if there's two parents, there is a detach of the often parent. I don't know why I just said that. Anyways, in this dynamic, there is a detach of the other parent, so which could occur or often occurs. And this is having to deal with the circumstantial events of what's happened to the relationship. And this sadly becomes a disconnected parent, and often an unavailable parent, especially in circumstances that triggers one's circumstances. So there's already a lot of stress on the environment is what I mean by that, in regards to the parent that's ill and then having to raise the children and all these things that come into play in regards to the responsibilities that occur regarding the whole circumstance, okay? And anything additional to that plate could lead to an overstimulation of the nervous system, which in my experience didn't bode well. So in reflection of my circumstances, there are two absent parents involved with two differing spectrums. Pardon me. And the children are caught in the mix, and they're often triangulated and walking on eggshells. So not easily able to express their needs or questions at hand regarding any circumstances. Could be met as an inconvenience, as the parent expresses. So these kids feel alone, but they are taught to suck it up and soldier on. This is what life has projected. So this ignites a signal for predators from my experience. These are the kids that feel like no one in the world wants them, not even their parents can express interest, and this results in getting pulled into these types of preyed upon situations or environments. So notably through this channel, the experiences I had to exchange with, or rather re-experience, were reminders of things that happened to me as a kid that I couldn't necessarily understand when I was a child, which is why I mentioned that earlier, that the kids that this is happening to don't know what's happening, because they aren't interested in sex. They don't know what that is. If they do, that's a big red flag. They don't know what that is. So I remember when I was a kid feeling, I'm talking a young kid. I was a kid, under 10. And I remember feeling great shame about these experiences when they occurred. I remember questioning why I would experience something like that. There must be something wrong with me, I concluded on my own, as there was no one for me to feel safe or to turn to, or I felt like I burdened them. But the actual reality was there was no questioning of my behavior. My sudden onset of anxiety or panic, no one questioned where did this come from. No one even knew or completely dismissed it in their own overwhelm of their own reality, and thus never asked or observed my pain and anguish in this regard. So the types of things I experienced, a child shouldn't know, and it was obvious the impact it had on me, yet no one questioned it, but rather looked at my demeanor as the problem child, rather than a victimized child. So there she goes, acting up again would be something I heard often, or she's so sensitive, or I don't know what's wrong with her. She's been so difficult, unruly child, acting up and out, making this extra hard. I remember that especially growing up, making this extra hard. So as a child, this type of experience should not be in my energy field. Regardless, this type of experience shouldn't be in anyone's energy field. So if there, so there is an awareness that I never experienced those types of things consciously as a kid. They came in unconsciously, and as such, I didn't know what they were or how to communicate effectively. I just experienced random disturbing sensations, thoughts, cues, leading into outcomes of what people were doing or wanting to occur. So what is extremely relevant is that I was a connected kid since birth, one that was ignored and dismissed, regardless of whether you believe or not. There is more that meets the eye, and the fact of the matter is that connected kids can hear in the spirit, and when people perform heinous acts in the spirit targeting them, those kids have a heightened experience that becomes cellular mapping and for later disclosure. So no one truly gets away is what I am being guided to share as relevant. So there is people who have come up against you perhaps, or people that you love, and they believe that they're not going to get caught. But like I just said, there's an imprint. There's a cellular imprint. This is all done on the spiritual layers and levels. These people are doing this spiritually. They are spiritually raping people, okay? And they believe that they're not going to get caught. They believe because nobody believes that they can see the spirit realm that they're not going to get caught. But there is a cellular imprint. There is an imprinting that is very relevant. And I can attest that when spirit speaks and wants something to happen here, it's coming down to happen here. People think that your thoughts are your own thoughts. They're not. Spirit speaks through you. You are here for purpose. We are all here for purpose. We have our ancestors speaking through us, living through us. We are here to help the further generations. I can't express this enough. I cannot express this enough. It's not about our life here. It's about who's to come. And it's about who's come in. It's about the birth, the release, and the coming. No one gets away with anything. Everything is seen. And if spirit wants this to be known, it's going to be known. It's going to come up to the surface to be known. So as I stated above, exchanging their energy for that of someone who is vulnerable. That's what they're doing. And with all that shared, what is coming up in the energy is that people are pretending to be the children they are targeting while enduring some form of heinous acts and pulling that energy away from the child and exchanging it with their disgusting experiences that were portraying to do so. This is what Spirit is showing me to help others in understanding about today's message. This is a topic that needs to be talked about, because living in this 3D world where illusions are everywhere and used to sell everything to gain mold of how you wish to be perceived, and one that has been projected in some form of necessity that is apparently required. So that aging is dying and that the fountain of youth is living is the projection. A world where everyone is in discord, trying to actively become something they are not. Competing for something other than what we authentically have. A constant dismissal of our reality to engage in competition of what? Disconnection from our reality to gain disconnection in another's. So this is the prayer of what many of us are actively living today in some way, shape, or form. Not willing to do the work in our relationship with ourselves. And then we extend out with others. Or constantly being sold, invading our spirit with booze or drugs. This disconnection. or creating facades in our structure with dismissal of our perceived flaws, leading into like disrupting what's naturally here. Like this could be getting injections or surgeries to try to distort some sort of continuation of the past, like this experience of gaining the fountain of youth. Rather than accepting the future, we are altering our minds without questioning the reality that encompasses us. It is it our mind, or our spirit, our emotional concept? Like we don't navigate this. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of us. We are a nation together, and divided we will fall. There is a constant division and radicalized experiences of past projections, and a strong need to wake up and understand that we need to come back to ourselves. Our capacity within our human vessel is holding us hostage, and our spirit is what is at stake. So what are you going to choose today? So 4818 could be significant numbers. Sometimes you go through things in life that you live with the shame, the regret, turmoil, and pressure of it. And it can be an extensive amount of time that you live with this guilt, with this remorse, with this pressure of something that is all of a sudden existed that never should have been existing in the first place. So this message is coming out because it is for somebody who might have experienced something in their life that caused them tremendous regret, shame, misunderstanding, and perhaps misguided them, and it caused them to abandon themselves. And it caused them to inactivate something within you, all because they lacked the resources, support around them. So this could be you. This could be somebody you know. This could be your child. I'm going to iterate this right now. I'm not even sure if that's the right word, but we're going to go with it. This is on a spiritual level. It could become a physical manifestation for the person who is the victim. And what I mean by this is the victim is being utilized as a puppet to create some form of turmoil in their lives to exchange with the predators. And it's their innocence that's in exchange. So while another is tormenting them, while absorbing all that is their essence and spewing their crap to replace it, this is all spiritually speaking and implies karmically as well. So instead of doing the work, these predators are investing in the unseen, in the unholy, to torment and create change for the innocent. Disturbing, disgusting, heinous acts targeting someone innocent. This leaves the victims to be silenced, to feel shame, some sort of regret. They disconnect from God, the source energy, in the guilt of what they're experiencing and the pressure that they experience, the levels of it. And it is not even theirs in the first place. Yes, I'm talking about the victims. They go through all that. This is somebody else's shame, somebody else's regret, somebody else's remorse that they could not face, they could not reflect upon, they could not go into, and they decided to place it upon somebody innocent, and that innocent person has no idea what is going on, not even comprehending it, but has this residual energetic experience left upon them of whatever was done to them. This is an experience on a cellular level. You will always feel this imprint, and without conscious experience of it, which extends from an emotional experience, a physical interruption, into one that affects one's mind as well, because there is no way of connecting it to the reality of their lived life. So for whoever this is resonating with, you will know what I'm talking about. If you don't understand what I'm talking about here, or this isn't ringing true to anything that you may have experienced or witnessed, or know somebody who is experiencing this, then this message is not for you. I asked myself, why is this coming back around? Why is this coming up? You know, I was reliving things that I've experienced from my younger years up until like my adult years. And it's because there's a need for it to be expressed outwardly. So it's scary to express when you are the victim. It's hard to express the things that have been hard, and that I've experienced in my lifetime. It's hard to do that. It's a hard thing to do. But you have had this result from it where this child... Oh, sorry, I just missed that line. Let me re-say that. I asked myself, why is this coming back around? Why is this coming up? And it's because there is a need for it to be expressed outwardly. And it's scary to express when you are the victim and have experienced this in your lifetime. You have had this result from it where this child person has been targeting or manipulated. And I don't think people understand how eminently powerful this experience can be, because it is a spiritual level. People seem to dismiss the spiritual levels as something that's non-existent. They're not really understanding in this 3D life how spiritually connected we are to source energy, and especially to our children. We are living in this world unconsciously rather than participating. We are living a template. We're living in a template, and no one is taking a moment to disconnect from it. We're all a part of this. The video games, TV, entertainment, constant remedies of perceived discord, and we become too busy to slow down from the fast pace of it all, pulling us away and not focusing on our health, not focusing on our dreams, not focusing on the reality. And it's just the way that this 3D world has been developed. It's like looking outside of ourselves in competition within its construct of vanity and sin, a template that has been generated in our systems. And this causes no reflection upon our choices and no questioning why something is happening. It is often met with a quick fix, and a need to remedy with quick access to something that is going to remedy and band-aid for purpose of furthering this engagement that we have come so accustomed to, or that I have come so accustomed to or grown accustomed to. It's like nobody checks themselves in this construct. And this is the matrix. Nobody checks themselves in this positioning. What if it's not about the easiest remedy or the easiest solution? What if it's about taking a moment to breathe into your existence and what has created this moment? What has created this moment? The existence of what you've just lived, and what has created this moment from when you woke up and lived for an hour that day. What did you do in those moments of existence? Breathing into that existence and what has created that moment, because you are a player in this field and in this game. And if you were to look at your life as a game in a way, and understand that you're playing a position in it, and you are not choosing, is your choice. You're not choosing to reflect, not choosing to decipher, not choosing to, that felt a little weird. Maybe I should go into that a little deeper. What was that communication I just had with someone that made me feel a way? Everything you do is your choice. You are choosing it to amount into something tangible, where you believe your success lies, where you believe this final outcome of whatever your achievement should be. But in that process, there are people in your life, or this is you, who are falling, lagging behind because no one is stepping up to the plate and questioning why. And so a week ago, I said I started a channel, and what came in with that channel was this information here, which led to everything I just shared with you. So there's something about a bunch of texts coming through, and April 6th could be significant for some of you, but something about a bunch of texts coming through with timestamps on them. And I'm not sure what they are. I just saw a bunch of random texts, just little blocks of responses, or perhaps it's a log of information between people. And what I was seeing was little white blocks, like they were like it was created in a table, little blocks of messages or information. And then I heard it again today, which reminded me also to, this is the reading they wanted me to share. I don't know who sings this song. I can't think of it right now, but this is the lyrics I kept hearing, which I don't think are the actual lyrics to the song. Stop right now and thank you very much. I need someone with a human touch. I don't think human touch is a part of it. So that's significant. I kept hearing that all day. The number 33 could be significant as well. Also, the name Murray came up in my awareness. And also, a dysfunctional family could be involved in a Satanist cult that's into bestiality. That could be very significant for today's channel. So I did roll some dice prior to getting in here. And we're going to pull some cards in regards to the channel I received that I just shared with you about the text, and about this dysfunctional family that's a Satanist cult that's into bestiality. That could be significant, the number 33, and again the song, something to do with a human touch. So the cards I pulled were to do with the sign Sagittarius, and something about being all tied up. So somebody's all tied up. This is what came up with my dice. And Sagittarius was significant. And I think also what I just noticed is also Mercury in reverse could be significant. So the 7th house is also significant. So Sagittarius, and it came up as somebody who's born November 22nd to December 21st. Scorpio could be also significant in regards to the energy. You could have like you could be on the cusp with Sagittarius, perhaps. That's significant. So ambitious, seeker, analytical, independent, philosophical, adaptable, energetic, and free-spirited human being is what a Sagittarius usually relates to. And an associated house with the Sagittarius is the 9th house, which is all about philosophy. So somebody who, this could be somebody who lives overseas, or something to do with overseas or foreigners. But also there's a distance. This could be to do with the connection, or the distance of connection to oneself is irrelevant here. As well as the obvious with philosophy in regards to like your beliefs, the laws, your religion, the structures of your belief system, your morals, ethics, the knowledge and the visions that you obtain and hold. So this is all relevant in regards to the Sagittarius. But I think most importantly, it's something to do with a marriage and a relationship that's coming up. Libra could be significant with the 7th house being the ruler. But this is about relationships. This could be about lawsuits, unity, intimacy or intimate connections, contracts, quarrels, separation, colleagues, compromise, divorce, union, and harmony. So some sort of balance in all of that is some sort of relatable. And what came in was something sly, something cunning, something calculated in regards to the Mercury energy being in reverse. So I've got a couple of decks out, and I'm being called to use my landscapes desk. So somebody could be using the landscape of the earth as their desk. So maybe earth magic or something could be significant here, relevant. So I did do a previous shuffle, but I'm going to just dive in and go through these again. Actually, I'm going to pause it and go through these again. Just give me a second. Sorry about that. I noticed there was a couple cards that were upside down. I thought maybe I shuffled incorrectly and I had to but it turns out there's just 2 cards that were upside down. So I'm just going to state them in case they come out. So the 7 of Cups came out and also the King of Cups came out. So 7 of Cups could be something illusional, that could be significant. So we're going to just see what's going on in this energy. What is it that I need to know, Spirit? Ooh, these channels sometimes can really take a lot of energy in regards to the build of it until the time I come to release them, because I'm deciphering them, and all the information that I share with you is things that I had to decipher before I could share this with you guys, which is relevant and hopefully helpful for whoever this is resonating for, whoever this is supposed to help. But there's something about a bunch of texts, there's something about a log of information between people, something about bestiality, a dysfunctional Satanist family, and somebody who needs human touch. Weird. Number 33 could also be significant. A Sagittarius, something to do with a relationship, and something sly and cunning and calculated. So what's coming up here? And it's like they don't want this information to come out. These cards are taking forever. They don't want this message to come out. There we go. So something to do with the Wheel of Fortune. First card out. What's influencing this? So we have a 3 of Wands that flew out, as well as the World. So 3 of Wands and the World card also. So this is all about the direction in which you take. This is all about the form that you also reside in. Like, even though we're all in human, all in human vessels or animal vessels, like we all have a life here in a form. And with the 3 of Wands, you could see here in the smoke of the fire, there's 3 animals. There's a hare, a falcon, and a wild boar, I believe, coming out of the smoke. And this is indicative of 3 different types of energies, right? 3 different directions they would all take. Same circumstance, 3 different directions, 3 different ways of experiencing it, 3 different solutions, or 3 different expansions moving into the Wheel of Fortune. Get some more on that. The Wheel of Fortune, coming into an understanding of something that's going to shake the world, is what I'm getting from this. Let's see here. We have an 8 of Wands and a King of Wands coming out. These just flew out. So some fast-moving energy to do with your Wheel of Fortune. The King of Wands. It's a white tiger. It's a white tiger, a very unusual species, not very many of them. So this could be speaking on the predator. This is underneath the Three of Wands, taking forms, maybe taking various forms. Again, there's messages involved here in the channel, text messages, timestamps, regarding a log of information between people. This could be some sort of predator. Maybe this is an online thing that's coming into light, something to do with the Three of Wands, as well, influencing some sort of Three of Wands circumstance to a Wheel of Fortune, which could change or rock someone's world, with the World card being the goal destiny. And the Eight of Wands is a fast-moving energy. It's all their energy is focused on something. It's in a direction. That's in the past. So this could be something that has been cultivated in the past by a King of Wands, some sort of shape-shifting energy, maybe pretending to be something online that they're not. Some sort of log of information between this predator and whoever they're preying upon. And it could be a multitude of people, because I did see it between people when I saw that channel, when I saw those little boxes. Maybe this is like a chat place, like a place where people talk. I don't know if they have those types of things anymore. Well, I mean, obviously I know they have types of things, like you could text somebody, or you can go on platforms like Facebook or whatever, but I'm not really, I don't know. I don't really go on much social media except for here, to be honest with you, when I do my messages. So something relevant about that. Maybe the number 33 pertains to 33 people, or it could be an age. Maybe the person's 33 years old. Shape-shifting energy, sex magic. Maybe could be somebody who's like a 33-degree Mason. We have a Three of Swords. This leads to heartache underneath the world. So this is disrupting somebody's life. You see the polar bear with all the blood and the water surrounding them. Three of Swords energy. Heartbreaking. Earth-shattering. Heartbreaking. The world. Earth-shattering. Goal destiny. I gotta clarify these before I go further. Okay. So we're gonna clarify these cards here. Grab a second deck here. Clarify the Three of Wands influencing the Wheel of Fortune. These cards normally just fly out. It's so funny that both decks are taking like they're hiding their tracks, like whatever this is, this inappropriate, what's this? The Empress just poked a little bit out. So it could be a mother figure. We have a Nine of Wands. It could be targeting a mother figure. We had the Empress and the sort of poke out. It didn't really fall out, but the Nine of Wands fell out. But I felt an awareness of this Empress. So I feel like targeting, you see the Nine of Wands, see the big giant and all the people. So it could be she's being targeted by all these people. putting them into some sort of fear or anxiety or burden. Let me just see that for a second here. The Nine of Wands is charging forward or standing steadfast. So this Empress could be confronting power, confronting with their power and skill this circumstance. This Empress could be standing as strength in adversity. And with the Nine of Wands, with that Nine of Wands indicating that. So maybe bringing something to light. The Three of Wands, shape-shifting energy. And the Wheel of Fortune. Let me just see if there's something predominantly here with this deck here in regards to that. Vision of the whole, good luck. Yeah. Something's been illuminated by this clarifying here. Something's been illuminated. And it's causing a Three of Swords to commence in the energy. Clarify the King of Wands, please. Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Three of Cups, Five of Cups. So raging emotions, Eight of Pentacles, working, creating, cultivating something with raging emotions, the Knight of Pentacles. Or from their emotional standpoint, they're creating something with that. Three of Cups is celebration. This could be like a victory for them to create some sort of Five of Cups experience for perhaps the Empress. She seems to be standing 10 toes down on something in regards to this Wheel of Fortune, Three of Wands, the world experience. And what is the Three of Swords? This is what they're hoping for her, I feel. But why? What is the Three of Swords? So again, the World card under the World card throughout upside down. So trying to turn someone's world upside down. There's some sort of timestamp on a bunch of text messages that's trying to create some sort of distortion in regards to this channel, perhaps in regards to an Empress who's standing 10 toes down. These people, this person, this King of Wands doesn't want something to come out that this Empress is speaking on. And in their rage with a Knight of Cups, they are creating some form of turmoil for her is what this feels like. What this looks like, to turn her world upside down. So somebody is standing 10 toes down on something, they're expressing something, they're saying something, and somebody doesn't like that. They're maybe calling somebody out. Like what I'm doing today, I'm talking about something that I'm sure whoever's doing this, who is watching me in regards to what I'm channeling, is not going to be happy that I'm talking about this. Oh well. What is the current of all this information? So we have a Five of Wands, so some sort of fighting. What's in the environment? What's in the environment, Spirit? Thank you. One card, please. something feels extremely anxious. It's extremely anxious. Somebody's extremely anxious about something that this Empress is saying, doing. Could be the Sagittarius. They're again, the Mercury in reverse came out with the dice. So something sly, calculated, cunning to do with an Empress, or created about an Empress, is how it feels. I feel like this Empress doesn't know what the hell this is. But I feel like there's some sort of plot to try to create something to cause her world to turn upside down. It's very distorted and very anxious because there's timestamps on it, which is the most fascinating thing on it. Like, whatever this is not going to work. It's like they're trying to create something to hurt this person, this Empress, this mother figure. They're trying to hurt this mother figure who is speaking truth on something, standing 10 toes down on something that they're not happy about her speaking upon. This is causing them a lot of conflict. They're in the Five of Wands currently. They're trying to create that for her, though. So you might, if this is resonating with you, you're the Empress, and you feel like there's something shady or shifty going on in your energy field. Yeah, we have a Knight of Pentacles here. In the environments, they're trying to collect on some sort of, creation that they've endured on. It's causing a lot of fighting. What's in the emotions? It's like this is taking a lot of time. This is maybe this is taking so long with the cards because this has been going on or being created for a very long time. This is not something that's like slow as molasses. Whatever this log of information is. Stop right now. Thank you very much. I need someone with a human touch. That's what keeps going on in my head. That song. Who sings that? Is that Spice Girls or something? I'm hearing another song by them that I recall from the radio, but I don't know it. Fight for your life. That song's in my head if you know Spice Girls. Hold on a second, guys. I just dropped a slew of cards. 1 second. I gotta move my table. Okay, so what came out, and I'm told I'm going to keep them because I'm guided that this is to be kept. This is the emotions. They're in their emotions about a Queen of Cups energy. This remained in my hands. So Queen of Cups energy, because she's speaking the truth. So this is the Empress. So she's speaking the truth, the Ace of Swords. Or she's shedding light on truth. And it's causing a death to something. So whatever this, so maybe she's busting, like whatever I'm talking about today. Maybe there's some sort of message that's been relayed or some sort of information that's come out that's been significant that an Empress has divulged or brought understanding to. And because of this, and she's standing like this Nine of Wands, right? She's standing 10 toes down. She's not moving. Look at all these beings like coming at her, attacking, all these forces coming up and attacking her. She's still standing like that big giant in the center. And so that's, I think, what's causing some sort of disturbance for whomever this is, whoever this Queen of Cups energy is. It's in their emotions. They're in their emotions about this. They're in their emotions about a Queen of Cups Empress energy. And those two are related. So you're somebody who could be intuitive. You could be very kind and loving, and you just know stuff. Again, the intuition. Everybody's born with it. We all have this muscle, and it's a matter of whether we want to utilize it or not. If we're going to ignore it, we're never going to get into it. It's just going to dissipate. It's like our brain. You don't use your brain, it's going to dissipate. You don't exercise, you don't do stuff, you're going to lose the movement. of your body. Now my cards are getting like, it's like now they're still taking a little, but now they're like jumping in my hands. Like before it was staying nice and neat. It was just like a slow lull shuffle, and now they're kind of like anxious. What's the outcome of all this? A Page of Swords in reverse, so some sort of message in reverse. One more on the Page of Swords, please. Oh, they keep falling and hiding. 1 second. I just discovered a card that fell with the emotions. There was another card that fell. Or this could have also be the outcome, but I feel what's going to be illuminated is some sort of Six of Cups energy, some sort of exchange, some emotional exchange. And this could be related to the Page of Swords in reverse. I feel like the Page of Swords in reverse is a disgruntled human being that's been victimized. We have the Magician in reverse as well that came out. So some sort of dark magic, sex magic is relevant in the channel. And then we have, again, I believe a Knight of Cups came out clarifying the King of Wands. So a Knight of Cups again has come out as well in the energy. So some sort of exchange, emotional exchange with the Knight of Cups as well, a charging emotional exchange energy. But the Magician in reverse. So in this regard, I just want to see if there's a difference between this Knight of Cups and the other one. 1 second here. Knight of Cups, Knight of Cups. Yeah, so the Knight of Cups in this card is like a romantic energy towards a Page of Swords in the reverse, creating a Page of Swords in the reverse. And this is also the reverse Magician. Black magic, sex magic is relevant, so this could be a victim that we're speaking of here at the end. And some sort of emotional exchange. And with the Page of Swords, let me just see something here. This is communication, mental agility, but it's in the reverse. So lack of ideas and disloyalty. So this person is going to perhaps start opening up about their experiences or whatever has occurred to them in regards to the outcome, in regards to this emotional exchange, in regards to this Knight of Cups energy that's done some sort of an emotional exchange towards this Page of Swords. Page of Swords also references messages and air. Again, a log. Something important about a log here. And so this is what's coming up in the energy here today. I'm just going to clarify the Page of Swords in reverse here. So we have a Ace of Cups. We have the Wheel again. And we have a High Priestess. Some sort of message is going to come out. And this is going to do with somebody's Wheel of Fortune. And their blessings. This is in the upright, the way this one fell. So maybe with this Page of Swords being a victim is really how this energy feels to me. it feels like someone's been turned upside down, and they're not really seeing, they're seeing the storm, but they're not seeing the calm that could be beneath them, or they're going up into, they've been, sorry, I'm gonna restate that. Didn't come out right. I'm watching this Page of Swords card. There's this bird. It's flying upside down into the lightning, into the storm. It could be how they were once perceiving things being in the reverse. But I feel like it has brought some sort of reflection upon them. There's something that has been illuminated for them. Maybe this is the person watching this that needs to hear my message today. And if this is you, I hope my message helps you. But this is about getting them to turn back upright again. Something has made them alter their positioning. And they're turning disloyal to whoever this Knight of Cups energy is, to whoever this King of Wands energy is. There's some sort of belief of loyalty from this predator, but there's a disloyalty that's coming through, or that's going to become made very prevalent in regards to what has actually occurred. And this is going to be based on some sort of intuitive message or insight or divine connected channeled message from the Creator, from God. And this is blessings. This is the Wheel of Fortune. This is somebody's Wheel of Fortune to be able to do this, to be able to connect this. And this is going to be made very clear, is how I feel I'm going to leave this today. So if this is you, the Empress energy, you're somebody who's illuminating something, you're standing 10 toes down on something, and you're not budging because you know that's the truth of it, that's the right thing to do. Keep standing 10 toes down, because the truth of the matter is coming out, even though it has felt slow as molasses coming out with the cards today. There is some sort of truth, some sort of justice for injustice that is going to be had. And this has to do with some sort of disgusting, disturbing energy that is preying upon vulnerable people. And you could be the person who is illuminating this. So I'm going to leave it there. If you resonated with my channel or with my my video today, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate your support. Until next time, take care. Bye, guys.